On today's episode of the Starting 11, we're going to be talking about match day 1 of the 2023 Women's World Cup, and we're going to be breaking down all 3 games and giving you our best bets in each one of those contests. Let's roll. What's up, sports fans? My name is Chris. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Starting 11. We are a daily soccer betting show that focuses on all major domestic leagues as well as world and European competitions. Today's Wednesday, July 19th, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about match day 1 of the 2023 Women's World Cup tournament, and we're going to be breaking down all 3 games on the board and offering one selection per game for 3 total bets for Thursday's action. Now, before we get into the plays, though, if you haven't already smashed the like button, please go ahead and do so now. If you could bring 50 likes on the video, that'd be phenomenal. And if you guys are new around here, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are approaching 700 subscribers, which is amazing. And I wouldn't want you guys to miss on any great content we got moving forward in the summer months. Not to mention the daily picks we're going to be having, put out through the duration of the tournament. Now, as we look at the odds boards, the first game that gets underway is New Zealand versus Norway. Norway are heavy minus 400 favorites on the money line, with New Zealand checking in at plus 850 and the draw sitting at plus 475. The next game, we have the other half of the co-host, Australia, as minus 334 favorites on the money line, with Ireland checking in at plus 850 and that draw sitting at plus 425. And on Thursday's night card, we have Canada taking on Nigeria. The Canadians are minus 334 on the money line, with the draw sitting at plus 450, and the Super Falcons checking in at plus 750 on the money line as well. The first play we were going to talk about is our New Zealand-Norway fixture. And when you look at this game, you just see one possible outcome. That's probably a Norway victory. It's just a matter of by how many, and if it's going to be a high-scoring affair or if it's going to be a low, dull, boring game to kick off the 2023 Women's World Cup. Well, if we look at New Zealand, one half of the co-hosts coming into this tournament, they simply are not playing well. They haven't, have been playing well for quite some time now. They've got just one win over the last 12 matches in all competitions, and they have just one home win over the last 13 matches on home soil. That's not good. And coming into this tournament, during that span, they've scored just 4 goals, total, and they've allowed their opposition to, breach the back of the net several times as well in every game thus far. They're not nearly as good as Norway, and we expect Norway to kind of dictate the tempo and dictate the pace of play in this one. And we do believe Norway, while they come into here in a mixed bag of form of late, they come into this with a 6-1-1 head-to-head record against the Football Ferns, with a 13-3 goal-scoring advantage in those 8 games. However, their form leaves a lot to be desired, and I do believe that, righting the ship at the right time, peaking going into the tournament is probably the best course of action for this Norwegian team, and I do like them to dictate the pace and play of this game to open the tournament. And if that's not enough, the best players on the pitch will be wearing Norwegian colors in Carolina Graham Hansen and Ada Hedeberg, and that's enough for them to get the nod from me in this contest. We like Norway to win this game, but we're definitely not laying minus 400. The goal total is juiced over 2.5 to minus 175, and we're not going to take that as well. What we're going to take instead, we're going to bank on Norway defense coming to the forefront in this one. We're going to bank on New Zealand not being able to put anything together and breach the Norwegian net. We're going to take Norway to keep a clean sheet, yes, at odds of minus 125. The second game on the card we're going to be talking about is the other half of the co-hosts, Australia taking on Ireland. In this game, Australia is going to be looking to get off to a quick start with Sam Kerr leading the lines. She's a match winner on her day, and she'll have a feast against the Ireland team that's making their first ever trip to the Women's World Cup after dispatching of Scotland in the Women's World Cup playoffs just last year. Since that victory, however, they've played 7 games and they've won just 2 games, in all competitions. And in those games, they've been leaking goals like crazy. And I do expect Australia to take advantage of that early and often in this one. As for Australia, they come into this match in sparkling form, and they should be full of confidence, having one loss over their last 10 games in all competitions, outscoring their opponents 26-5. If we're being completely frank with this competition here, we expect Australia to win this game pretty handily. The only thing is, laying minus 334 with them is not a smart bankroll move by any stretch of the imagination. So we could look to pivot to a goal market, but they're priced at 1.5 team total goals at somewhere around minus 275. And if we look at the total goals, it's 2.5 minus 135. But I'm not sure Ireland will do anything to pitch in offensively. Could be a 2-0 or 3-0 Australia victory. Either way, what we're going to do is we're going to take Australia minus 1.5 goals here at odds of minus 105. I don't see Ireland getting on the score sheet in this one, Even if they do, I do believe Australia has what it takes to, notch 3, possibly a 2-0 or 3-1 victory for the Aussies. Take Australia, minus 1.5 goals at minus 105. And the final play we're going to talk about is the Nigeria-Canada contest that takes place Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Look, if we're talking about strictly form coming into this game, Nigeria should be definitely a smaller favorite than they are at plus 750. They've won 3 straight matches, albeit all friendlies, but those friendly matches do boast, help the morale, boost some confidence, and they come into this tournament, with a little bit of, swagger to them. And if you look at Canada, they've lost 4 of their last 5 matches in all competitions coming into this tournament. So you could say that Nigeria is simply, in better form. But that's yet to be determined given how the odds are shaping out in this contest. The winner of this game is going to be decided by which team dictates the pace of play and which team dictates the tempo of which the game is played at. Simply put, the Super Falcons will want to play quick. They're a fast team. They play a 4-3-3 formation with a high press, and they simply like to get after the ball and run into spaces and hope their defenses tire out toward the end of the game. As for Canada, they play a 4-2-3-1 formation. They like to keep their shape. They like to control possession. And they have, elite strikers and playmakers that can, turn the game on their head at any given moment. But they're still slower and, like to play a more methodical style of football. If Canada can handle the Nigerian pressure up top and make, 1 or 2 passes to get into space, they're going to run away with this game. But if Nigeria presses well and, frustrates the Canadians' backline and midfield, Nigeria has a puncher's chance in this one to sneak a massive result for their hopes to get out of the group stage. I'm not laying minus 334 with Canada in this one. The over is juiced to 2.5 minus 175. No, thank you. I do see this game being played at, kind of not at a breakneck pace, but not at a snail's pace. Going to be kind of in the middle with teams dictating the tempo, in spurts. I do expect plenty of chances in this one, and I'm going to take the both teams to score yes at odds of minus 120. So to recap, Women's World Cup Match Day 1 plays, we are taking Norway to keep a clean sheet, yes at odds of minus 125. We are taking Australia minus 1.5 on the goal line at minus 105. And we are taking Canada and Nigeria, both teams to score yes at odds of minus 120. That wraps up today's episode of the Starting 11. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to help support the videos, please smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share these pics with your friends on social media so we can all make some money together. The next episode of Starting 11 will be available on Thursday morning. Until next time,